if I told you it's not time that's the problem, it's how you're using the time? The number one thing that most women over 40 tell me that they struggle with is time. They will say, Jen, I don't have enough time to work out. I don't have enough time to do XYZ. But what if I told you you're looking at it wrong? They were talking about how to take back control of your time and how to prioritize you. In this video, we're going to cover why I don't have time is a lie we're telling ourselves, the mindset shift that's going to help you, how to structure your day like very successful women do, and how to find time for workouts and self-care. Years and years ago, if you would have asked me, why I wasn't working out consistently, I would have said the same thing. I would say, I just didn't have enough time in the day. I get it. I had multiple kids, work, taking care of families, a million responsibilities always would come before me, prioritizing working out. But then one day I realized I was on my phone and something urgent came up for work, and I found the time to address it. So then I realized that I had to find time for things that would make me a better person. If I'm going to find time for this urgency, this fire that came up, then I can find time like that, but for myself. This is when I realized time wasn't the problem. It was prioritizing what I was prioritizing. That was the problem. And it was never myself. We all have 24 hours in a day, and it's how we choose to utilize that time, which is going to make the difference in how we feel and how we look. Truth is, most people don't want to hear this. When I say you do have time, it's the one thing people will just block and be like, I absolutely don't have time. But if you don't take the time for you and your goals, no one else is going to do it. We spend a lot of time reacting to life, scrolling through life, looking at other people's life, then focusing on ourselves. We have the ability to create our own life, not waste it. We as women have to stop wasting time prioritizing everyone else over ourselves and worrying about things that we cannot control. When we say, we'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it later, tomorrow or later never comes. The most successful, confident women all have the same thing in common. They don't wait for time to magically appear. They create it. They create the time and utilize it to their best advantage. And I'm going to show you how to do it. You're here with me on this 30-day journey to help women learn to prioritize themselves. I'm so happy that you're here. I am trying to consistently show up here on YouTube, both to help in my growth and to help you on your journeys when you feel stuck, when you feel like you can't change, when you feel like you can't change your body, you can't change your life because you're of a certain age. I want to dispel that myth for you. So I'm so happy that you're here on this journey with me. You're always running around and you literally have no time for anything. I want you to try this exercise and you're going to be shocked. So you want to take a piece of paper and write down all the hours, 24 hours in a day. You can do it in 20-minute increments, 30-minute increments. The best is if you literally did it in 10-minute increments. So if you started at 6 a.m., 6:10, 6:20, 6:30, to really fine tune exactly what you're doing with your day. And what you're going to do is literally write down in whatever time frame you pick, but the smaller the better. You're going to write down everything that you did, whether it's brush your teeth, make coffee, email, scroll on social media, watch the news, write down everything that you did. Wait for your food to cook in the microwave. You want to write these things down and be specific as you can. And the key is writing this down, because if you just think about it in your head, it's not going to work the same. You need to write it down so it's concrete and you can see it, because it's going to work so much better. And when you do that, if you did this for a few days or even a week, ideally, you are going to be shocked at the amount of time that you are wasting on things that are really not important. And these are the things that we're going to talk about, how to easily take them out of your life and put in things that are going to serve you better, to make you be a better person, to help you become who you want to be, to help you do things for yourself. Now, thinking about the person that you want to become, we're all becoming someone. This series is about who you are becoming. So we were someone yesterday. We're going to be someone different tomorrow than we are today. So who do you want to become? So the next thing is to really prioritize your non-negotiables. So what are the things that are non-negotiable to you in helping you to become this stronger, healthier, whatever it is, version of yourself? You need to write those down. For me, my non-negotiables are some type of moving my body in some type of way, eating healthy meals, spending some quality time with my kids individually. So it's not a quantity of time, because I don't have quantities of large blocks of time. For me, it's quality of time that I spend with them is more important. And self-care, self-reflection, self-care, and learning. These are like pivotal things in my day that I need to address at some point. And I will help you and figuring out how to best do that for you. Once you do your time audit, then you can use something like time blocks, and you can see if you did a time audit for a few days where you have time blocks that you can put in these non-negotiables for you. So I, in my programs, create a 10 with Jen method, which are 10-minute workouts, 10-minute meals, and 10-minute self-care routines. So I find blocks of 10 minutes of time where I can incorporate one of these things that are non-negotiables for me. So you find out your non-negotiables and where you have blocks of time, and you put it in your schedule, just like you would put in a doctor's appointment. You put it in your schedule. So the next step is eliminating time wasters. So no more scrolling or watching, mindless things on TV or whatever your time wasters are that you did in your time audit. Because when you say yes to that, you're basically saying no to prioritizing yourself, and you're saying no to prioritizing your own growth in who you want to become. So it's important to remember that baby steps matter, especially in the beginning. It's just getting used to building these into your schedule. So that's why I like the 10 with Jen method. It's easy for me to remember, and it was easy for me to create for myself. So whatever that is for you, however many, if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes where you're going to allocate towards meal prepping or to, listening to a book on Audible or going for a walk and building those into your schedules, just remember that it doesn't have to be large blocks of time to make a significant difference in your life. You can get, more done in things that you want in less amount of time if you know how to prioritize your schedule and prioritize you. So many people also talk to me about motivation and say they're really not motivated. They're not motivated to work out. They're not motivated to whatever. But motivation isn't really what you need. And people don't want to hear this, but motivation at the end of the day doesn't mean a lot. You don't have to be motivated to get things done. You just need to take action. So action will build momentum. It's going to be way better once you start to build momentum and build habits. Is going to be way stronger than motivation. So discipline will always beat motivation, but you have to learn to build in the discipline, which takes just small actions every single day, building habits to build your discipline. And do not worry about having motivation. If everyone just waited for motivation, like literally nothing would get done. I'm not motivated to do half the things that I do, but I've built them into my schedule. I've built them into my habit. So now it's like second nature. It's part of my discipline, and you will get there in time with baby steps. You don't want to be overwhelmed. Baby steps is key. It's small steps will lead to big changes. Remember, if you want to have more energy, you have to start moving. If you want to feel more confident, you have to start taking care of yourself and showing up for yourself. If you want to be someone that prioritizes herself, then you have to show up for yourself today. So here's your challenge for today. Take one thing that you have been putting off and figure out how you can get it done, even if it's just a few minutes. This way you will prove to yourself it's not about time. It's learning to prioritize yourself. It's learning to put yourself first and deciding how you're going to allocate your time to better serve you in becoming the woman that you want to become. So write down in the comments below what one action you're going to take today that you are going to get done that you have been putting off. Find the time for it. You can do it. I'm here for you. I'm so happy you're here on this journey with me. I'll see you tomorrow.